powered by Riverside FM.
All right. Here we go. We are back with another one. No games, just business podcast. I am Darius. I'm here with my cousin Jimmie. What's up, Jimmie? How you feeling? How you living, cuz?
Feeling good, living good. The start of another week. The grind continues. Looking forward to these great topics, great conversation with you fellas. Let's get it popping. What's up?
Yes, sir. We got Don in the building. What's up, Don?
What's up, man? Yeah, y'all see the name down there, future Super Bowl champs. You know, I'm doing real good this week. You know,
we about to call Don the parlay king over here, man. You can't miss, man. He killing us right now.
But before we start anything, I want everybody to like, subscribe, comment, just some fan interaction. Just show some love.
Mm-hmm. For sure. We definitely love the fan love. Like Don said, just continue to like, share, subscribe, and comment your questions. We love to answer your questions and keep you guys engaged. Another good week of I would say so of some football. We had some big injuries this week.
Yeah.
So it might shake up the playoffs a little bit. It's a little crazy. We got a game going on right now, the Bucks Saints. Mm-hmm. Looks like the Bucks is trying to take the lead in that. Well, they're already in the lead, but they're trying to solidify that lead in the division. What we got on the agenda today, Jimmie? What we got?
Man, we're going to start with that prime time. Deion Sanders, the GOAT in a lot of people's eyes, man. This man here is going from an opportunity where, Jackson State wasn't much of nothing, but he's making them something. You know what I'm saying? He's changing the guard and he's changing the way we view it. He's going from there to Colorado. He's going to Colorado State, and this opportunity will break it down. We'll chop it up, see if he should have stayed or if Colorado State was the best fit for him. From there, we'll go to Jimmie G. You spoke on it. Jimmie G is out for the year, and it's a solid taste in all of our mouths because it affects, the playoffs and the purity of it, knowing that the 49ers are not at full strength. We'll chop it up about the NFC and who will be the top dog coming out of there. That's going to be a juicy one. And from there, we'll segue into topic number 3, AFC, NFC. Who has the tougher road? Because that matters when we're speaking on these great teams and true greatness. What you face matters, and we'll chop that up too. And from there, we'll go into the 5 free agents this upcoming off season that we believe will either stay put or move. This can be big names potentially, or teams that are making moves for further contention. And from there, we'll go to the playoffs and what team you feel, if you were a fan, you should be shaking your head about it. You should be nervous about it. You should be biting your nails because you don't know what's to come. We'll chop it up, break it down about that, and we'll close it out with Don, the king of the pickems right now. We're gonna give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not used to the flowers being a bingo fan, but you're gonna get them today. You're gonna get them today. Okay.
Hey, if the world would be great if y'all just start listening to me about this stuff I be spewing out my mouth. It be facts.
Whoa. Especially not about them bingos. But that's definitely the hit.
Definitely gonna have to slow that down.
Yeah.
Looking better than them Falcons and Patriots. I know that.
Hey man, I'm getting ready for the off season, getting ready for this draft. Hey man, I got nothing else to say.
Darius, you just last week or 2 weeks ago, you said that you was hoping for a Buccaneers collapse and y'all was gonna make it to the playoffs. 2 weeks changed that much? Jeez.
Yeah, man. I know it's over. You got it. Hey, man. I ain't got nothing else to say, man. We're supposed to win those 2 games. But we going to get into this primetime Deion Sanders, man. Oh, man. I had like mixed emotions when this first happened. I was like, man, why Deion leaving so early? Like, he was bringing the culture back of the HBCUs. He was getting guys to not go to the big time schools and come play for, the HBCUs, trying to bring them back, put the spotlight back in that section of football. And he's changing the culture, changing the dynamics, right? People wanted to see those games because Deion was a coach and he was dominating in that segment of football. And then I was like, man, he went to Colorado State. He went to Colorado State, not FSU, not a team like maybe North Carolina, maybe like, you know, another powerhouse school that's one of these top schools, right? Mm-hmm. Arizona State maybe, but Colorado, come on, this team just went 1-10,
1-11.
1-11, 1-11. Look at that. But then I started thinking, right? Not every coach started out the way we think. Not every coach is a Dabo Swinney, right? A Lincoln Riley. Not every coach gets those privilege to be an OC at a big time school and then, you know, take over the reins and become a head coach for those powerhouse schools. Mm-hmm. We got a guy like Nick Saban, right? Started off at Toledo. We got a guy like Brian Kelly, started off at Central Michigan. We got a guy like Mac Brown, right? Started off at Tulane. These are some of the best college coaches of our generation that has now dominated at powerhouse schools. Mm-hmm. So this is a stepping stone for Deion. He went to SWAC and he was SWAC, right? 2.5 years, started off in a pandemic year, 27-5, 2 SWAC championships, conference championships. He lost in the I think he lost in the championship game, but he's playing for the championship game. Is that this weekend?
I thought they already won it.
Yeah,
did they win it? They just won it? Mm-hmm. Perfect. So he already has a championship under his belt. He changed the culture there. He made these guys, he taught these guys to respect the game, right? With faith, humbleness, hard work, right? Respect. Those are some big things, big core things that he's taught these guys, right? Mm-hmm. So he's changed these guys' lives in a small period of time, but it's time for him to, grow as well, just like along with everyone else. This is nothing different from what every other coach does. Once you get a better opportunity for yourself and your family, you see what he's doing, right? Not only does he get the opportunity to coach at a bigger school, he was amazed by the facility. When I watched him walk through the whole facility, he was amazed by it. He said, "I never had anything like this. I coached young kids, teenagers, and in SWAC who doesn't have, in Jackson State, who doesn't even have this type of facility. These guys should appreciate this because not everyone gets this opportunity." And you see what he does, right? Not only does he get the opportunity to grow, but he's bringing his son, the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Both of them, I believe.
No, I think he's only bringing one.
He ain't bringing this.
I don't know if he's going to bring Shiloh, but he's definitely bringing Shador, who's statistically gotten better from his sophomore to from his freshman year to his sophomore year in every statistical aspect, as far as passing yards, completion percentage, passing touchdowns. He lowered his interceptions by 2. He got more rushing yards, more rushing touchdowns, and he gets the ability. He gets to shine in a bigger school, in a bigger light versus better competition. So
quick question. Yeah. You don't think he bring his son to play safety?
He might. I don't know. I can't say he will. I don't think his son played that much as what we would think. But he might. He's bringing his daughter. I think she's going there to play basketball too. Mm-hmm. So he's changing his whole family's life, right? So I think this is a good thing for Deion. I definitely see great things coming. He's going to be able to bring in some talent, and hopefully he brings Travis Hunter with him too.
Sorry, fellas. You're spot on them. You spot on with this. But there's a lot of different angles with this. It's obviously a better opportunity. You're talking about at Colorado State in 5 years, Deion will be making what he made in his career. I'm saying that again. What he made as a player is what he'll be making in these next 5 years as a coach at Colorado State. So financially, it's beautiful. We're talking about leveling up and checking off milestones when it comes to the game of life. So I understand that, and never want to count a man's money or pockets or anyone's financial situation. But this is bigger than, I believe, just Deion going to Colorado because of the HBCUs and what we need from our HBCU leaders. And what Deion was an example of is something that we should try to follow. Deion was able to give HBCUs exactly what we needed, which is the blueprint, more so on how to go about being successful. And we're talking about Deion being able be sacrificial and being able to give 150K of a salary to the program. We need more individuals like that. We need a top dog who has a media personality, who can galvanize people, who, like you highlight all the leadership qualities Deion has. We need people like that in the HBCU. So to see him go it hurts. But at the same time, I feel like it gives us a glimpse of what could be. And if we have the right people in place to fund these programs and give them opportunities, so one day we won't call them HBCUs and have them in their own type of bubble, but they are part of the mainstream bubble. They are part of the Alabamas and such. I'm not talking about competition, but access to resources. And Deion was able to give HBCUs the access to resources. And Colorado State, he'll be able to change the game in a way there as well, just from a different angle. I believe giving these guys who walk through the doors of the HBCUs an opportunity to level up and being that bridge between the levels is a beautiful thing. But it comes with pros and cons. And I believe it's a mostly beautiful story, but I just hope that we can take this blueprint and run with it so that HBCUs can be deemed in a greater light in general.
I agree. Y'all done hit it all on the head. I mean, honestly, I just feel like I honestly feel like it's a good move. I mean, hey, I get it. He could have stayed at the HBCU and build like a dynasty there for the culture. But isn't it about like progressing and elevating when you get an opportunity? And I mean, yeah, I hear he could have went to Florida State, NC State. Those they might not wanted him. So you got a team in Colorado that is pretty trash, and you got somebody like Deion coming in that can turn around a whole program. I mean, he already has a 4-star receiver in Winston Watkins already committed to Colorado just to play up underneath him. So I feel like that's gonna like have these top recruits stop always wanting to go to Alabama, the Ohio States, the powerhouses, and he can build something out there. And granted, it's in Colorado, but he can build something up out there. And I just feel like he's the type of guy that can just change around a whole program and change around a whole campus. So I like the move. I mean, I don't have any like pushback on the move.
Do you think he's more like that Nick Saban-esque, like that Bill Belichick-esque, where it's all about culture? And I mean, I definitely think he has some talented guys, but there aren't many coaches that can come in and change an entire program around like some of these other guys. I think who was the last coach that really changed a program around and dominated? Wasn't Lincoln? Wasn't Lincoln Riley with that Oklahoma team?
Let me ask you this: what was Clemson before Dabo?
That's a great point, but
yes,
the programs turning around a program like Clemson is a lot different than or Oklahoma is a lot different than turning around a program like Jackson State. So I think Deion we should
even Colorado.
Even Colorado.
Yeah, like if he does that,
it's huge. Right. But to do it at Jackson State, like I understand it's a better opportunity, and kudos to Deion for taking the opportunity, but like the opportunity he was giving Jackson State and HBCUs was on a different level. Like He was changing the game and on trajectory to change it in a quicker pace because of what he was up against. We're about to talk about the road and the difficulty in the midst of the playoffs. Deion's road was difficult. You're talking about American Airlines. He had to partner up and use his leverage, his cliche, to allow his team to have a flight that's more comfortable, or something that most teams on the next level have at their disposal. You're talking about more games televised because of Deion. You're talking about Colorado State opening up their transfer portal, and now the credits that are allowed for these for these players who are trying to transfer there is more wide range. You have more options there. So when you're talking about building a team, it's going to be easier at Colorado State. So he will be deemed as the Nick Sabans, or someone who can turn around a program, and you can just see it by his confidence in taking the opportunity to turn around that program. But for him, it hurts me to see that we've needed all these different things from a Deion Sanders. He's a creme de la creme when it comes to influence and the football lore. Like he's a top dog, and it takes his hands on HBCU for us to see change. I believe us it shouldn't take Deion level for us to see change in HBCUs. We need people on a lower level, quote unquote, to be able to affect change for these HBCUs. So this isn't a one-hit quitter.
Yeah, and another thing that I noticed that he said in his meeting with the players at Colorado State, he goes, he brought up two coaches. He's been coaching with them for 10 plus years. You know how loyal you have to be. You know how good of a coach you have to be with Deion for 10 plus years. His defensive back coach at one, because we all know Prime played DB, and then also his linebackers coach. So we know defense is going to be is where they're looking to really play. Mm-hmm. And another thing, college football is all about this transfer portal now. Yes. I mean, you get the top guys. These guys, some of these guys are 4 or 5 star recruits, and they're jumping from one team to the next team. Mm-hmm. I think the receiver in the Pac-12 that led the Pac-12 in receiving just entered the transfer portal. So
shoot, Clemson starting quarterback just entered today.
DJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was on his head.
And then didn't Jackson State get like the I forgot what he was. I think he was a wide receiver or cornerback, like one of the top recruits last year, where it was like
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going to enter the transfer portal, but I mean, I would probably.
That's what I was saying. I won't be surprised if Deion's like, hey, come on, you coming to Colorado with me.
I agree.
Yeah. So, any last words on this? Because I definitely want to see Deion do great, and I think he will do great with this organization.
All I'd say is, I think in a year and a half, I think he'll have them at least up to 9-10 wins.
All I want to say is HBCU leaders and alumni and future athletes and student athletes and such, don't give up. Keep the pedal to the metal. A great example is around the corner, and a great example are within these programs. We just got to highlight it and give them as much exposure as we give these big programs. We on our way.
For sure. What we got next, Jimmie?
Now we about to go into this other guy named Jimmie G. Porn star Jimmie, whatever you want to call him. We're going from the 49ers, man. Are they still contenders, man? After the sour, taste in my mouth. I hope Jimmie G, fast recovery going into free agency. But who is the top dog coming out the NFC now? Who is it, Don? Talk to me. Since you're the parlay, I want to know.
Hey,
tell us about the future. Tell us about the future, please. Tell us what it is about this NFC.
Man, this is really just a 3-team race, to be honest with you. Everybody else don't matter, ain't gonna matter. I mean, right now I did a broke down a percentage. I got the Eagles at 50%, that I think, and then I got the 49ers at 30% and the Cowboys at 20. But if I had to put some money on it, I'd go with the Eagles. I mean, I would have leaned towards the 49ers before this, to be honest with you, before the Jimmie G injury. But I watched the game, the 49ers and Dolphins game. Brock Purdy didn't look bad, but are you going to have that much faith in a rookie quarterback, literally the last pick of the draft, in the playoffs, going against defenses like the Eagles and the Cowboys? I don't know, man. That part just makes me nervous. So that's why I'm like, yeah, y'all got a good defense. Y'all got a lot of skilled players around him, but I don't know. Maybe it's just going to be to my detriment, but I can't put that much faith in Brock Purdy. And Kyle Shanahan, he's a great coach. He can scheme up. Granted, they're not throwing the ball 20, 30 yards down the field. It's always like 5, 10-yard routes, and then he wants his skilled players to make the plays for them, and it works for them. But honestly, do y'all think that they could still beat the Cowboys and the Eagles right now if they met in the playoffs right now with Brock Purdy as their backup quarterback?
Oh man,
Or starting quarterback, my bad.
Against the Cowboys, anything's possible in the playoffs.
Well, I'm not worried
what
about
the Eagles?
I'm not worried about the Cowboys because I'm not worried about Dak. I mean, if that what I am worried about is that defense. That defense gets rolling.
But that defense struggled with the Colts last night. The Colts are trash.
Yeah, but then they put it. Oh, I was going to text the chat and say, hey, should I leave Matt Ryan alone this week? Should I leave him alone? Because I've been on him all year, and I knew it was going to go this way.
Hey.
I said it. I said it was a fluke. But
he finally took that title back away from Josh Allen for the most interceptions in the league.
Oh man, I knew it was coming. But I don't know, man. I think at this point it's Phillies to lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't get it right with my Super Bowl picks this year. I went to Saints, and then the 49ers get CMC, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the missing piece right there that can elevate this team. They get Elijah Mitchell back at some point this year, and that'll be like a little 1-2 punch. And we lose Jimmie G. So I'm like, I mean, you got the best play caller in football, Kyle Shanahan.
The best.
You got some really good playmakers, but like you said, are we going to really rely on Mr. Irrelevant to get us to the promised land? I don't think so. But I think this kind of puts a little bit more pressure on CMC because they probably going to have to use him a little bit more. And Debo's probably going to have to hit the backfield a little bit more because they're going to have to run the football. Mm-hmm. And I think Debo's ready because I think he's been itching to get the ball more because of CMC's he demands the ball, it takes away from Debo. And because you have other weapons, it takes away from Debo. So I still think they could possibly make it to the conference championship if they can avoid the Cowboys, only because the Cowboys defense plays at a high level. Again, I'm not worried about that. But Tony Pollard and Zeke they're looking like a little 1-2 punch. And when you can get Zeke rolling, Tony Pollard it complements a primary back. So I think that they can still make it to the conference championship versus Philly. I think this is at this point, this is Philly's Super Bowl. This is Philly's NFC at the moment. But again, I've been off so far with my NFC team. So now that I'm saying Philly, it just might be the Vikings or the Cowboys at this point.
Well, hold on. Jimmie, let me bounce a question off to you right quickly because I know it's about to go. Yeah. I'm listening, but I'm starting to like kind of sway on the Eagles, and the Eagles haven't done nothing for me to sway on them. But we just saw that same 49ers team lock up Tua and the Dolphins, and everybody was praising them Dolphins. about their high-powered offense.
We're gonna get to the Dolphins later.
Like Tua was one of those quarterbacks, like the Joe Burrows, the Mahomes, the Allens. They was talking about him like he was one of them. So,
MVP candidate.
Yep.
I heard somebody say Tua was better than Joe Burrow. I about lost my mind.
I don't know who you be listening to, bro.
When I start hearing this stuff, I'm gonna just clip it and send it to y'all so y'all see what I'm hearing. But my question is, do you think the 49ers defense could elevate them enough to beat an Eagles team in the playoffs?
I'm so glad you asked about that side of the ball because it's not appreciated. And I believe they can hang their hat on that because Kyle Shanahan is an efficient play caller. He's going to take the points. He's going to go. He's going to risk it when he should on offense, which complements his defense. He's going to play the field position game, which is a very it's not a sexy way to play, but it works. And I believe playing with a rookie, I sort of alluded to it with Trey Lance, playing with someone who has potential or raw skills allows for you to put your hand or your touch on what you want them to do as opposed to breaking these habits. And as far as the defense facing a rookie quarterback, we don't have no tape on him. So we can't prepare as well. So, I mean, I could see a little path for the 49ers, but all these teams y'all are talking about, and y'all keep forgetting the GOAT. He's active live right now, doing his thing on Monday Night Football prime time. The GOAT, Tom Brady. And really, I was cool, calm, and collected until his name or his team was not brought up. And you talking about defense, a team that has a defense behind them. They just need to show up. And I believe it reminds me of the super team of the 2010s, I guess you would say, for basketball. They just try to turn the switch on. And I believe that's what that defense tries to do. And it doesn't necessarily work, but I believe that it can potentially work with Tom Brady on your side. High leverage situational defense. I believe they can peak at the correct time. We haven't seen the Bucs peak just yet, and there's still a lot left in the season. But it's not the Bucs for me. It is them Eagles. You're right. You're right on the money. Eagles from top to bottom have the formula to win in multiple ways. You're talking about a team who just passed for over 350 ran for over 350 last week, passed for over 350 this week. This team is versatile. This team is top 5 in a lot of position groups. You're talking about the offensive line, which in the playoffs is the trenches. You know what I'm saying? The defense, they're coming along, and when Jordan Davis comes back, they'll be able to stop that run in a different way. And they have depth at that position now too, and Ndamukong Suh and Joseph they just picked up as well. They can get after the pass. They can stop the run. They can do it all. Jalen Hurts is a weapon that it'll be difficult for these Cowboys teams, these Bucs teams to scheme up against the Eagles because you either have to sell out against that run or double up on AJ. And if you double up on AJ, it's going to just make Jalen eat in a different way. So I got these Eagles. They were able to hold King Henry to 30 yards rushing. Like, we're talking about a team that is high octane and high powered on both sides of the ball. We don't see that in the league today.
All right.
No, I agree that defense is definitely top tier. They're ranked number 1 in total defense. Is because they have so many injuries in the secondary. I mean, that's the only thing that the Vikings can overcome. I don't know. Kirk Cousins in the playoffs, we got to see what it looks like because in primetime, we know what he is.
At 1 o'clock primetime games, he a little bit better.
Philly, I mean, they're killing it right now. I want to see Jalen Hurts continue, this strong quarterback play because he's on the MVP race at this time now, especially after this week. So, what?
You talking about them Vikings and Cowboys? Like,
I said Eagles. I didn't say anything about the Cowboys. I'm not worried about Dak Prescott.
Before I spoke on that GOAT and the Bucs, y'all talked about the Vikings and the Cowboys. And I just can't.
No, we only spoke on the 49ers and the Cowboys. We ain't bringing up the Vikings. We not bringing up the Bucs. We not bringing up none.
Y'all was saying the 49ers need to avoid the Cowboys.
Yes, because defensively with a rookie quarterback, in that type of environment can be tough.
I believe
Because
that is the exact team that could knock off the Cowboys. The unexpected team. The team we all think the Cowboys should be is usually who they lose to in the playoffs.
I agree. I think the 49ers could beat the Cowboys. If the playoffs started today, I would roll with the 49ers. The Cowboys, they win last night. I was just not impressed. Ooh, y'all scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. Man, y'all played against Matt Ryan.
Yeah, the Colts.
Like,
Matt Ryan was giving y'all the football.
Exactly.
Giving
like,
them the football.
Like I did, I did one of my videos today, and a Cowboys fan going to tell me, yeah, the Bengals got a good win, but y'all didn't beat the Cowboys. See us again and see what happened to y'all playing around with us. I want y'all to see us again.
And for some way we get right back into the Bengals talk. But you never know how it gets brought up, right? You just gotta throw it in there.
Hey, it kind of
playoff time, man.
We are going to see because Mahomes don't want no smoke with Joey B. But back to this right here. I mean, I really feel like I kind of want to just write out the Cowboys, to be honest with you, but I can't because they have such a good record. Like how I'm writing off the Vikings, because the Vikings, they're not physical enough to be able to play against any of those three teams. I mean, we know the 49ers will lock the Vikings up if they run into each other. And the Bucks, and they're done. They're down 7-3 right now to the Saints. And then next week they got played the 49ers. If they lose tonight,
the Saints defense isn't horrible.
No, but I'm saying, but Marshawn Lattimore not even playing tonight. Their secondary can be had.
That's true.
And so that goat out there, he ain't looking. Hey man. My fingers just do stuff sometimes. It really happened because you was out here keep on talking about Brady. I'm not, bruh. I promise you. I promise you. No, hey, last week. Let me quick little thing. I wrote down who the Bucks got left, man. No, I didn't. I actually didn't write the Bucks down, but I don't think the Bucks.
They got, let's see. So they play the 49ers next week.
L.
Oh, then they play the Bengals.
L. Super L.
Then they play the Cardinals. The Panthers and the Falcons.
Come on, that's 4.
I told you we're gonna steal one.
That's three. That's 3-2 at best.
The 49ers is a rookie. I'm not thinking so.
No, but who that fourth win?
The 49ers, Panthers, Cardinals, Falcons.
You know
y'all beating the 49ers?
You know what I did?
Jimmie G, I believe so.
You know what I did see today though? I did see that the 49ers may potentially pick up Baker. Just saying.
I seen Kyle.
Just saying.
No, I seen Kyle Shanahan say something about that.
Kyle Shanahan with Baker Mayfield, he made Matt Ryan an MVP.
Yo, Kyle Shanahan is great mind. But
I think he was.
It say right here.
He was on that team with Kirk Cousins and RG3.
Well, he said right here. He said he always been a fan of Baker, but he won't commit to adding. He won't commit to adding another QB right now. I mean, it's not like Purdy did a bad job.
He didn't. You want to show your players you believe in them. Sometimes that goes a long way.
This is true. But yes, them Eagles, I think we all agree, the Eagles are the team to beat out the NFC. This team is poised for greatness. Y'all agree?
Yeah, I could definitely agree at this point.
But I ain't sleeping on the 49ers if they meet in the playoffs, though. I might choose them. I ain't going to lie to you.
Okay.
I got a Eagles 49ers NFC Conference Championship.
Still?
Yeah, I mean, who is going to knock one of those two teams out?
I don't know what else I gotta say besides this GOAT. Like, I don't understand. Like, he has the necessary. It's not like he doesn't have the ingredients to make something shake. He
ain't got an offensive line to mess with the 49ers or the Eagles. They are going to kill that old man back there.
disrespect is crazy here. But
You see, every time Brady about to get sacked, he crumbled to the ground. Does he not?
But he's a smart quarterback. Who wants to get hit? It's like Floyd. Y'all mad because he keep weaving it. He's a counter puncher. Okay, why would he? He's throwing the ball away. His passing percentage trash. No, that's smart football. Like
greatest defensive box ever.
Come on, the greatest. To my greatness here. Now let's talk about who has the greater conference here. Who has the tougher role specifically? Is it the AFC, the coveted AFC with them Bengals over there, or is it the NFC with them Eagles over here, the two top teams in those divisions right now? Who has the toughest road though? What's up, fellas?
Go ahead, Darius.
I mean, I don't see who would pick the NFC. So obviously it's the AFC. I mean, the AFC, you got the Bills. They're getting better. Josh Allen finally didn't throw an interception.
He fumbled though.
Oh man. Oh God. All right. Well, hey, at least he's not Kyler Murray fumbling, right? Skyler will give you the football 20 times a year. But at least he didn't throw an interception. This is the second time in the last 6 weeks he did not throw an interception in the game. The defense is still top tier. They should get Von Miller back for the playoffs. So you got them. We all know we got the Chiefs. Mahomes has that Brady effect. When Mahomes is on the field, you know it elevates that team to another level. He's also able to galvanize the players around him. A Marquez Valdez-Scantling, right, who's an average deep threat receiver. Juju is a hit or miss, whatever. You still got Travis Kelce. We already know he top tier, number one tight end in the league. The defense is actually playing. They're getting better throughout the year. I mean, they played solid versus the Bengals. That was actually a really good game. And then you got Isaiah Pacheco and McKinnon. They're looking like a solid 1-2 punch for them. Not a consistent run game, but whatever. You got Patrick Mahomes. Then we got the Bengals. I mean, they're top tier. Every time I see Higgins,
Say that again.
Anyway, anytime I see Higgins, he can be a number one receiver on a lot of these other teams. So him and Jamar Chase. I mean, you got Ice Cold Joe, man. Come on,
Brady-esque.
man. Yeah, definitely Brady-esque. Pierney, Samaje Perine. I meant Perine. He's playing well without Joe Mixon there. So that's a scary offense right there, and their defense isn't bad. So I mean, they can get hot. The Ravens is a hit or miss without Lamar, with Lamar, Travis Huntley. I don't know. I don't know what the Ravens. I really don't believe in them in the playoffs. The Dolphins looked horrible this week. Tua had his worst game probably this year, and Jalen Waddle is now hurt. So who knows with that? The Jets, if the Jets had a quarterback, they'd be the best team in the NFL. I can tell you that right now because that defense can stop anybody. That defense can compete with a lot of other teams. So I mean, I just don't believe in the Jets because they don't have a quarterback. And then you got to stop Derrick Henry. You can't let Derrick Henry get hot because if he does, then the Titans get the ball rolling because they got a solid rush defense. But other than that, they can't cover. The Raiders, I got some honorable mentions. I got 2 honorable mentions here. If the Raiders continue they're on a 3-game win streak.
They are.
So don't look at me like that. They are on a 3-game win streak, and that offense, all they got to do is go win the last 5 games.
Not gonna happen. They got to play the Chiefs.
I mean, if they win 10 games, they could possibly make the playoffs. If they win 5, they're not out of the playoffs.
Matter of fact, they got to play the Chiefs and the 49ers, Pittsburgh and New England. The only cakewalk is the Rams. They are not.
The scary thing about the Raiders is that their offense is picking it up. That's the scary thing about the Raiders right now. The offense is playing well. And then I know y'all brought it up earlier, but I got to bring it up. Deshaun Watson, he's back with the Browns. He didn't play well this week. He hasn't played in 2 years, but the defense stepped up. That's what I want to highlight. The defense played well. So if you get Deshaun Watson a groove back, and if they went out, now they could possibly win 10 games. But again, these are what ifs, right? Because they're still in it because they're not fully out. And out of the teams that's not in, I think those two teams could make it if they went out.
Bro. Hey.
You want to go down? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Don. Let me hear what you got, man. Nah. Don't push it on him. Let me hear what you got, Don, because he got something to say.
We was all good in agreement until you started naming off those last couple teams, man. Like, yeah, that's what it was. I would have even went for as far to let a pass if you would have said the Patriots. I would have just looked neutral. I
would call you that.
But it's like the Raiders and the Browns. Like, come on, man. Deshaun looked absolutely rusty and trash yesterday. The Browns defense this season has not been very good. Like, it has not. They played a sorry Texans team that literally if there was a way to secure the number one pick, the Texans was trying to do that yesterday with all that nonsense they was doing yesterday. I mean, if I had to pick some teams that's in the wild card that I would think, matter of fact, I'm honestly like the playoff picture is like it's like in the wild cards right now. It's the Bengals, the Dolphins, and the Jets. Honestly, I don't see any change. Honestly, because the Chargers are too up and down. They're hit and miss. I mean, everybody always want to talk about Justin Herbert being this guy, but all he does is make long passes here and there and don't bring no type of team success. I'm tired of hearing about him. I mean, the Patriots, that's all I got to say about the Patriots. And you bring up the Browns, the Raiders. Heck, I would even went as far to say the Steelers before I say the Browns and the Raiders. I
was definitely iffy on the Browns, and I was thinking the Steelers because I like Mike Tomlin and I think he's locked in. But
especially after they just beat y'all. But that's
not saying much. That ain't saying much. I'm not too. I just don't think there's no change in the AFC, and I think the AFC is by far the harder conference. I mean, you got the three best quarterbacks in the league right now, all in one conference. And what does the NFC really have? It's really just the Eagles. Nobody really going to think the Cowboys are going to do anything. The 49ers, yeah, they're good, but like we said, Jimmie G just went out. So I know we all in agreement that the Giants ain't doing nothing. We don't believe in the Seahawks. Who else? Don't bring up no GOAT because he ain't on nothing this year either. And who? Oh, and the Commanders. Like, come on, bro. Like, hey, I guarantee you, whoever come out the AFC this year is gonna win the Super Bowl because it's a gauntlet. It's a gauntlet. You gonna have to. You gonna have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to earn this Super Bowl.
I agree with the last comment. Whoever wins the AFC will win the championship. I agree, but to me, the AFC is very one-dimensional. I believe we have more complete teams in the NFC. I believe the Chiefs are a one-man show. You can call them two if you want to say Travis Kelce. Anywho, from the Bills' total roster, maybe the only total roster in the AFC, and you know how I feel about them Bills.
The Bills are a total roster?
Let me split real quick. Definitely total roster. Now, Bengals, offense, one-dimensional. Defense is solid. But what I want to hang my hat on is that Bengals offense. Again, the Titans' run game is very similar to the Chiefs in that one-man show. So, again, the AFC, to me, you talk about the Dolphins, a lot of questions there. Ravens, it's all Lamar's legs, and Lamar's legs are hurt right now. So, there's that. The Browns, we're not going to speak on them, even though they have a Defensive Player of the Year candidate year in and year out, and Myles Garrett can make a difference in the postseason. So, that's nice. But, again, well-rounded squad, proven coaches. We're still waiting for McDermott, the real Sean, to stand up completely. He hasn't proved anything just yet. The Bengals coach, Zach Taylor? You haven't proven anything just yet. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are the consistent variables in the AFC. Mike Variable, we're still waiting for you to get over the hump. All these teams are waiting to get over the hump. When I look at the Eagles, this is a roster that is full of players that were in a Super Bowl not too long ago. We're talking about a roster that is the best total roster from top to bottom. We're talking about the Bucks, a team that just was in the Super Bowl not too long ago with the GOAT, regardless of age. He is the GOAT. So that matters. You're talking about total roster, the defense, their defense, if you compare the Bucks defense to almost any of those defenses on the AFC, they're better besides maybe the Bills. And then from there, we go to 49ers. We just spoke on Kyle Shanahan and the mind of Kyle Shanahan, a top offensive mind. Let that be known. In the 49ers roster from top to bottom, defensively and offensively, offensive line, defensive line, weapons galore on both sides of the ball. You're talking about complete rosters. Cowboys, the only flaw they have to me is their coach. Dak Prescott, between the ears, you have the ability, but between the ears, we need you to do right, be more consistent, but you have the weapons to make something shake. Complete roster. NFC.
Jimmy, I see you on one tonight. I really see you on one tonight. I mean, I'm sorry, Darius. You go. It's your. You go ahead, man. Like I get him. I get him after you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so you think there's more complete? So you think it's a harder? So if a team played in the NFC, you think it's a harder road to the Super Bowl than playing in the AFC?
I agree. Yes.
Because there's more complete rosters.
Yeah,
that's not true. That's
coaches,
one.
Name the first complete roster. Name a team that you want to see in the playoffs that you wouldn't want to see in the playoffs in the NFC over an AFC team.
Yeah. All right. So we'll go to me. Bengals, Eagles. We'll go top dog. Chiefs, Eagles.
I would not want to see the Chiefs in the playoffs.
I'm more scared of the Chiefs than I am the Eagles.
For me, like there's more formulas, more ways you can beat the Chiefs than beating the Eagles. Like, which way are you trying to attack the Eagles? There's ways you can try to attack the Chiefs. Like, the possibilities are endless. If you want to go,
but who has beat the Chiefs? Who has beat the Chiefs in the playoffs besides Tom Brady and Joe Burrow? Right. Exactly. Everybody doesn't have a Joe Burrow or a Tom Brady.
Right, but Joe Burrow is all right. So you're right about that. But also in that division, in that conference, Patrick Mahomes has not had to go against an elite defense very often. The NFC have the closest things to elite defenses. You have the best players. Look, you're talking about Devin White. You're talking about Fletcher Cox, Slay. You're talking about Nick Bosa. You're talking about Parsons. You're talking about Diggs. The best players are on. You know how I feel about defense. The better players on defense are in the NFC, not the AFC. The quarterbacks, yes, are in the AFC, but these quarterbacks are still trying to prove themselves. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, you know who he is. But these teams are closer to proving something than these individuals are.
So, I can name 3 teams right now in the NFC that I'd rather play than in the AFC.
All right, speak.
All right, we're going to talk about the Vikings. Then I'm going to bring it to the Cowboys. Let's see who else we have. The Eagles are the best team in the NFL, obviously, but we got to see what they can do in the playoffs. This is playoff football now, and also we got the Seahawks and the Giants. Like, come on, the Giants. I said it all year. They're like a very bad, for some reason, good football team. Like, they're not that great.
With playoff intangibles, though. Like, the way they can attack you or hurt you is within a playoff type of formula. Like, it's not.
But I don't think that team can get hot. I don't think that team. That's they play like tough football. The defense is tough. Mm-hmm. The offense is built around Saquon. But I don't think that, like, seeing. I hate bringing them up, but I mean, seeing Joe Burrow in the playoffs is tough because he's literally ice cold. Seeing Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs is tough because he's ice cold. These guys can elevate you to another level. Only quarterback in the NFC that can elevate a roster to another level is Tom Brady because he's done it time in and time out, but he needs that protection. And also at this age, he needs other players to complement his talent. I mean, other than that roster and the 49ers, I'll flip a coin and play any other team in the NFC. As far as the AFC, I don't want to see any of these teams. I don't want to see the Bills. I don't want to see the Chiefs. I don't want to see the Bengals. The Jets is really good defensively, and that's really it. But other than that, I mean, that's 3 to 4 teams right there. I would not want to see over every other team in the NFC.
And speaking on that, also, I mean, you said Joe Burrow and Josh Allen haven't proven nothing. What has Jalen Hurts proven? Literally nothing. He got to the playoffs one time last year and lost to your GOAT. To your GOAT.
Jalen Hurts. I highlighted the situation Jalen Hurts is in, which will allow him to do more than others. The situation he's in is by far the best in NFL.
But Jimmie, how you did that? How you decided to only say this about Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, but then just completely not even see it on at Jalen Hurts also. Josh Allen and Joe Burrow has done way more in this league than Jalen Hurts. He's having one good season. So is Tua. I need to see them boys actually do something in the playoffs before I actually start anointing them.
You're not comprehending what I'm saying because I didn't anoint.
No, you said their team. No, you said his team around him.
Exactly. That's what.
But you still have to count in the quarterback.
The team and the individuals, two different situations. The Bengals are what they are mostly because of the weapons in Joe Burrow. There are a lot of things you talk about with the Eagles before talking about Jalen Hurts.
No, you don't.
Their O-line, the best in the NFL. Their defensive line can argue top 5 in the NFL. Their duo at the cornerback position, top 5 in the NFL. The duo at the receiver position, top 10, top 5 in the NFL. That allows Jalen Hurts to maximize his potential. Yes, you're right. His sample size isn't that of Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, or any of these dogs. That's why I spoke on the NFC teams and their situation around these stars as opposed to individuals, which is what the AFC consists of. When you're talking about the AFC, you can chop down ways on how you attack these teams because this team or what you can hang your hat on, like more weaknesses. The AFC has more weaknesses in their roster than I believe the NFC does. They have more top end talent, but we're talking about.
Let me ask you this real quick. What weakness? I'm gonna go down. What weakness the Chiefs got?
Defense to me, like it's a bin.
Okay. I agree. I agree with that. But how many of those teams in NFC can keep up with the Chiefs in scoring and also take advantage of the defense?
I believe the Chiefs going against NFC teams. NFC teams have more of a formula to beating the Chiefs. It's being able to control the clock as far as
what I'm asking is who over there can actually stop the Chiefs and keep up with them because we just saw the Chiefs blow out those same 49ers with all their pieces and the Chiefs dog walked them.
Again, I'm trying to tell you that these teams in the NFC can all establish the run. The Eagles can run the ball. The Bucks, Leonard Fournette is a real thing in the playoffs. Playoff Lenny. Cowboys can run the ball. These teams have formulas. The Titans and the Bengals, to me, have the only formula to really stop the Chiefs religiously, and that's being able to score points in a shootout because the Chiefs aren't going to be consistent in every form of fashion because. Before it was Tyreek Hill, but right now, I mean, against the Bengals, you watch the game. There aren't certain things that the Chiefs are able to do based off of what they don't have on the outside. But I believe Patrick Mahomes down the line will prove something. But you're talking about the Titans and the Bengals have the only formula in my eyes to be able to beat the Chiefs. But there are more teams in NFC who can establish a run, control the clock, and have better defenses to compete and stop Travis Kelce and holding them to 4 receptions like y'all did. The Bengals defense, I believe the NFC have better defenses over there compared to the Bengals defense. The only team that has a better defense over there in the AFC is the Bills.
Bro, styles make fights. I want you to know that. And you keep saying all these teams in NFC, they're not equipped to go against a Travis Kelce, the Bengals 3-headed monster, Josh Allen and his weapons. Like we just pointed out, we saw this firsthand. We saw the 49ers. 49ers have the best defense in the league. Chiefs blew them out. But so my whole thing is those top 3. I don't see how you can even say anybody in the NFC can even mess with them because it's like their quarterback elevates them so high that you can't even like I say you can't even comprehend how much the quarterback matters. Like you can't stop Josh Allen if Josh Allen is going. When any of those three quarterbacks are going, you can't stop any of them. Like literally, it's nothing you can do. The NFC, are you really like putting your faith in Dak? Really?
No.
Yeah, I think that's
But that's the thing. You only talk about the quarterbacks for the AFC, and but you don't acknowledge the quarterbacks for the NFC. And the quarterbacks for the NFC, yes, they do. Dak is going to give you the ball. I just seen Dak basically almost throw 2 picks last night to the Colts. What do you think is going to happen if he do that mess to the Bengals, Chiefs, or Bills? They are going to kill him for that. Like
Dak doesn't have to play great for them to win the game. Joe Burrow does. Patrick Mahomes has to play great or good for them to win the game. Jalen Hurts doesn't have to play great to win the game. Tom Brady doesn't have to play great to win the game. They have things on their team that complement them, the quarterback.
That's not totally true. I just seen Josh Allen struggle these last couple of weeks, and they've been still winning
because they got an elite defense.
Total team.
Exactly, they got an elite defense.
And as I was saying, the Chiefs defense has been playing better. And the thing about the Chiefs and the Titans is that they can get to the quarterback. They have a pass rush. The Chiefs are 5th in sacks, by the way. So let's not sleep on the Chiefs defense when we poo-poo their defense. And also, again, that brings it back to the point of when you have that top-tier quarterback, as far as the Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and the Josh Allen, it elevates you. They can elevate the game and take over. They are the X factor that will lead that offense and that team to a win. When you look at the other side, I mean, Kirk Cousins, are we going to believe in him in the playoffs? Are we going to believe in Mr. Irrelevant in the playoffs? I mean, we got Dak Prescott, we got Daniel Jones, and we have Geno Smith, who's having the best year of his career. Like, come on.
But Jimmy, that's his point. You mentioned the quarterbacks for the AFC, but at some point in the game, these quarterbacks for the NFC, they're going to have to step up. They're going to have to make throws. They're going to have to do this, make decisions. And you honestly can't say that with a straight face that you honestly believe in any of them.
This whole segment, I've said it with a straight face. And there are multiple ways to skin a cat. And the elite quarterbacks don't always win a championship. There are a lot of elite quarterbacks that didn't. There's a lot of role-playing quarterbacks that were able to get it done because their team assisted. Just because the quarterback is the most important position on the field doesn't mean he can't be assisted in ways that are further than the stat sheet. And we talk about minds. I believe as far as minds, this Eagles coach, and this 49ers coach, and the Bucks coach, they're able to scheme up things more so than what you're able to with the Ryan Tannehill. Like, and again, the bottom end talent, I agree. AFC has better bottom end teams. You're talking about total roster, they have better rosters as far as top end talent. So the bottom end teams like the Ravens, the Deshaun Watson led or Myles Garrett led Browns, I get that they're better than the Giants and the teams that are on the lower end. But I believe the complete total package of the 4 teams I named, Cowboys, 49ers, Eagles, Bucks, those 4 complete teams can win in multiple ways. And I'm looking for the Chiefs to not lean on Patrick Mahomes too much, the Bills to not lean on Josh Allen so much, and the Bengals to not lean on shootouts so much, and the Titans to not lean on running the ball so much. Those are one-dimensional formulas, I believe, and that's why I take the NFC top dogs over the AFC's top guys.
When you say complete roster, I mean
Thank you. What are the Bucks complete?
The Bills have a complete roster, and Josh Allen can still elevate that offense to another level. They have no run game, and are we going to bank on Isaiah McKenzie and Gabriel Davis? Is that receiving core better than the Bucks receiving core? And then also we got the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, as I brought up earlier in the episode, he's able to galvanize these players to elevate their game in big moments. And their defense is no slouch. We got the Bengals. The offense, we already understand that their offense is elite when healthy, when everyone is healthy. The O-line is playing a lot better, but they can still give up that pressure to Joe Burrow. And the defense isn't bad.
It's not
The
bad.
defense is a hit or a miss. They're a solid unit. So when you say complete teams, I mean I just named the three best teams in the AFC, and those three are a complete team. And the only complete roster in the NFC would be Philly and possibly the Bucks, but the Bucks have no O line.
The
The
49ers.
49ers and the 49ers.
The
But
Cowboys don't have an elite offense and defense.
But
again,
these teams aren't. They I don't think they're elite all the way because you can poke holes through them. Like the 49ers, their quarterback just went out. Okay, that's a strike. The Bucks. I'm not bringing up the Bucks because the Bucks are trash. Like they're
poke a hole in it.
Brady and his offense, they are trash this year. Literally.
Where's the substance in what you're saying though? Like you just said,
The stats show. No, the stats show it. The Bucks are trash this year. Like literally, the O line is trash. Brady and his wide receivers have not been on the same page all year. And like, bro, like I think it's time to stop living on that. I think it's to stop leaning on. Oh, they got Brady. So what? Like he ain't elevating nobody no more, bro. Like this ain't the Patriots anymore.
That's crazy.
And you said the Cowboys. Dak is iffy. He's hit and miss. And the Vikings? Exactly. Kirk Cousins, really hit and miss.
Is a top 5 player in the league. The Cowboys have a top 10 O line with dual threat running game. If they so choose to run the ball, like I believe the Cowboys in the playoffs usually shit up the joint because of themselves. If they don't shoot themselves in the foot, I believe they have everything at their disposal to attack in multiple ways. And
besides a consistent quarterback.
And history shows that the Cowboys will always do Cowboys things.
Jimmy G's an inconsistent quarterback, and we had the 49ers in the NFC. There's a rookie as a 49er quarterback right now. Y'all still got an inconsistent quarterback out the AFC. If you look at the 49ers situational roster, of course it looks better than the Cowboys, but it's not that much better. The mind behind it is what's that much better, but that mind is in the NFC. And I believe that we're speaking on the 49ers complete roster with a rookie. Why can't we speak on Dak Prescott with a chip?
Because we've seen it. Because we've seen it. We've seen Dak in the playoffs countless times, and the Cowboys. Yes, the Cowboys cowboy. They say they're gonna win the championship every year, and they be like a first or second round exit. The Cowboys are not that.
And the Bengals up until last year haven't been a damn thing for almost 2 decades. So we've seen a lot of different things. The Cowboys haven't been shit for 2 decades, almost 3. The Bengals haven't been nothing, and we're projecting them to beat something based off of what they have on their roster. The Bills have been a consistent upgrade year by year, so we're projecting them to do great things. The Titans, we've seen them try to win the run game year in and year out, and they haven't. These teams have more to lean on than just one guy. If Derrick Henry gets hurt, it's over with. If Patrick Mahomes gets hurt, it's over with. If we just said the 49ers quarterback, him getting hurt, it's not over with for them. If Dak Prescott gets hurt, it's not over with for them. If Tom Brady gets hurt, it's over with for them. But if the Eagles, Jalen Hurts get hurt, I mean, it's
over with. That's the only thing about them. They have a dual threat. They have a dual issue in there. He not doing nothing. Like they have a dual threat quarterback. That's why they're so dangerous because Jalen Hurts can take off and throw the ball at an elite level. Like if you want to use that argument, you could say the same thing about every team that has a star quarterback. If you take Brady up off the Bucks are nothing. Literally. If you take
the 49ers, Cowboys, and the Eagles, you poo-poo the Eagles one, but the 49ers and Cowboys are still legit even without their starting quarterback.
Yeah, but what are you gonna? If you take Dak off, you gonna lean on Cooper Rush? Are you really?
I'm gonna lean on a run game. Like when Patrick Mahomes gets hurt,
bro, you keep saying the run game. Like teams can't stuff the box. Like teams can't stop the run. Like literally, the Bengals just stopped Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry and them are good. Are they not a good running team? And against that same team,
Gallup, like. There's versatility within the roster. The Titans
CeeDee Lamb like that now.
He's better than He's a top 15, top 20 receiver in the league.
I like CeeDee. But I like CeeDee when he gets the football in his hands because he's a difference maker. He can make people miss. So I guess we will agree to disagree on this segment. Jimmy got the NFC. Me and Don, we are sticking with the AFC as far as being the toughest division. Where we at next, Jimmy? What we got?
We're gonna go ahead and try to predict the future again here with these free agents that are upcoming, and we are gonna run it down with the top 5 in our minds who will either stay put or skedaddle to another city, try to make something shake in another state. What's good, fellas?
What you got, Jimmy? You gonna start this one off?
I'm gonna start it off with that guy Josh Jacobs, man. We didn't get the dub this week in the fantasy, but you did a hell of a job. You've been doing a hell of a job for the last couple of weeks, and I'm excited to be your owner this year. Got a couple more weeks up. Josh Jacobs, you're doing your thing with the Raiders, but I don't think you'll do that again with them. It'll be with those Dolphins, and the Dolphins, if you go there, they will be a true contender. We're talking about a run game. We're talking about complete offense like we did in the last segment. If you're able to throw that ball and run that ball, the options, the end zone, the ceiling is endless. So I'll go Josh Jacobs, and from there I go Tom Brady. Tom Brady to the 49ers. I go Jimmie G, replacing him, going to the Bucks. From there I go Geno, staying put with Seattle. Pete Carroll. It's going to be like a rookie. This is his rookie. Yeah, quarterback spree. And then we close it out with Jordan Poyer going to, the Bengals, replacing Jesse Bates, who's on the franchise tag. We'll run it down with that first, and I'll let y'all speak.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to take this one next, Don.
You go ahead.
Only because I got to piggyback off Jimmy. Man, oh man, yo, when you say fantasy football, I got Josh Jacobs, I got Devontae Adams, I got AJ Brown, I got Jalen Hurts, I got Jalen Waddle, and Alvin Kamara, who's been iffy this year. But I only lost 2 games. I'm having the greatest fantasy football season in my life. I got like 5 leagues, and I've lost no more than 2 games in each league. That's how good my fantasy football is. And actually, I think I just cooked you up this week. So, but it's all good. It's all good. I got to piggyback off Josh Jacobs right there. He's actually had a solid career so far. I mean, he's been in the league 4 years. He has 3,000-yard rushing yards, right? And then one year he was hurt. I think he missed a couple of games. And since 2018, he's 4th in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns with players that at least play 55 games in this league. And he's in front of players like Zeke, Aaron Jones, David Montgomery, Alvin Kamara, Leonard Fournette. These are some of the so-called top guys in the league, right? Josh Jacobs is one of those guys, but I don't see him going to the Dolphins. You know I see him going, right? You know I see him.
Better not beat them Falcons.
You know what I see him going, right? Yeah, we're going to spend some money this year because we got the money to spend after we had to get rid of we're going to leave that for another day. But anyway, we not capped. We got money to spend this year, and Atlanta is where you want to be. So I see him going to the Atlanta Falcons. And then you brought up Jordan Poyer going to the Bengals, replacing Jesse Bates. Remember, they did just draft Daxton Hill, so you gotta keep that in mind. But I like that because I got Jesse Bates actually on my list, so I'm gonna take him from the Bengals. And you know what I'm gonna bring him? He gonna come to Atlanta Falcons too because we're gonna spend some money this year, man. We're gonna spend that money, and he gonna come to Atlanta with Josh Jacobs, Arthur Smith. He got his running back now. We got a ground and pound. We got Jesse Bates back there, who's a solid safety. It ain't like his all-pro season. He fell off just a little bit, but banged up a little bit. But we're going to get him. He's only 25, 26 years old. He's going to be solid for the next 2 to 3 years with us. And then I'm going to go with your boy, Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters. I think
that boy washed.
I think we send him to the Broncos. And now you got a nice little 1-2 punch. A guy that can, he's a little risky, but when it hits, it hits. He can definitely take the football and take it to the house. Pair him with a guy like Patrick Surtain. Now you got you got one elite corner, and you got a solid corner to complement him there. And then this one's going to be a surprise because not many people like him, but I actually like him because he's a thumper. Jonathan Abram. He already plays for the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks re-signed him, right? He was a former first-round draft pick for the Raiders. but I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be playing more in the box. And I think they're going to have an off-brand Legion of Boom here, because you got Woodland, you got Bryant, Kobe Bryant, two solid. Well, one is playing elite. The other one's a solid complementary corner who I thought was a sleeper because he played in that Louisville team with Sauce, and Sauce got all the spotlight. But Kobe Bryant's good. He's a good player. They got Quandre Diggs back there, and we all forget Jamal Adams. He is hurt, but he still plays for that roster. So you got those 5 players that can, they're young. They're all under 27 years old. Well, except Quandre. I think he's about to be 30. But still, you got a solid core there. And then I'm going to go with your boy again, Jacoby Myers. I like him. I like him. He's a solid receiver, man. He's a solid receiver. 6'2", 200. A big body receiver. His thing was that he didn't score touchdowns. Everyone was like, oh, he doesn't score enough touchdowns. That's okay. That's okay, because now he's scoring the touchdowns a little bit. He had 2 last year. He has 3 this year. He's upped his receiving yards. But the thing is, they have no receivers to complement him. Mm-hmm. I think the Patriots is going to re-sign him because I think they understand that he is a solid receiver. He's a guy that they can believe in. But you got to get some other talent to go around him, and so Mac Jones can throw this football around, because the rest of these guys are just guys.
One of the guys I got is Lamar. I mean, he won that 250 guaranteed. He's injured now. I don't see that. I don't see it happening, honestly. And it's not just because I'm a Bengals fan. I honestly feel like they probably heading towards a divorce. I could see him going somewhere in that NFC South, like maybe. Hey, maybe y'all got ain't y'all got like $100 million in cap this year or something like that.
You got money to spend.
Exactly. Y'all got first round picks, I believe, also. So I mean, I could see any of them teams, Panthers, any of those. Shoot, even somebody like that. I get to them later, but I honestly feel like. I don't know if they will trade him this year, but I feel like they're going to franchise tag him. And then I don't think they're going to get another deal done, which is going to lead to like the same situation the Bengals are in with the Jesse Bates right now. We franchise tagged him twice. We can't franchise tag him a third time because it's going to be too high. So I feel like it's going to be the same exact thing with Lamar. I think he probably plays there one more season, or they just go ahead and trade him, depending on how Huntley does in this time period of him playing. I feel like they might say, hey, Huntley can win us some of these games. We might not need to pay Lamar that big of a salary and just get a lot of draft picks and a lot of good players, because they just traded for Roquan Smith also, and he looking for a contract also. So I don't know how that's all going to work. Another person we got some of the same people. I got Brady also, but I got Brady. I was going to say the 49ers before Trey Lance, but I don't know. Maybe the Raiders. I could see that. I just feel like the Raiders. I'd say this, depending on how they finish the season with Derek Carr. Yeah, you're right. They got a little 3-game winning streak. Probably going to be 4 because they got to play the Rams this Thursday. So it just depends on how they finish the season. But I could see Brady there. Another one, Jesse Bates, my safety. Like you said, they got Dax Hill. They drafted his replacement last year. They basically was molding him to see how everything is, so they don't got to throw Dax Hill out there in the fire this year. And I honestly got him going to the Falcons also. Hey, y'all got cap space. I don't know y'all safety situation, but I imagine it ain't Jesse Bates. And the last two I got on the same team, the Giants, Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. Now, Saquon, I feel like he's going to probably be there because he is their offense, basically. And Daniel Jones, I think he'll be back. I just don't think he's going to – I think the Giants are going to be able to get like a fair deal. They're not going to have to pay him like a high echelon QB because that's not what Daniel Jones is. So I feel like they're both going to stay. And, yeah, that's my list.
Now, if you think the Ravens are going to part way with Lamar, where's he going to go?
Honestly, I was thinking about it. It would have to be like a team that's semi-contending, and that's why I was about to say maybe the Giants or the Jets, but I don't know if the Ravens would trade in conference. So that's why I started looking at teams like y'all, Tampa, if Thing leaves, but it's hard to say because Lamar like that last segment. Lamar is his own system. Can you? I don't know if you can just put Lamar on one of these systems like the Bucks and it be the same because it's not like he's some elite passer. He's a good passer, but he isn't like some elite one. So maybe Panthers, Giants, some team on the come up. I'm guessing
Well, the Panthers don't have any money to spend.
they don't have any cap space.
No, they're negative $3 million.
Who do
right
they?
now.
Who do they have? They are trash.
What up?
Like I literally want to. Let me look at this.
Only teams that can really get them is Atlanta, Chicago. I'm sure they're gonna just move forward with not Hurts, Fields, Justin Fields. The Patriots got cap space, but I do really think Bill Belichick's gonna go and get Lamar. The Giants, he could go to the Giants. He could go to the Texans, the Seahawks.
Hey, that Pete Carroll, Pete Carroll with him wouldn't be bad.
The Raiders, the Colts, and the Lions. Other than that, no one else can really afford them, or they really don't need them. Well, a lot of teams need them, but they can't afford them. Other than those like 7 teams, and I mean you're gonna have to pay them a lot of money. But I don't know. Quarterback position is tough, man. Quarterback position is tough, especially when you get a guy.
Would y'all want him?
You talking on my team, like on the Patriots?
Both of y'all teams, because both of y'all have. I'm looking at Patriots. Patriots gonna have 49 mil, and Falcons gonna have 66 mil, and Chicago gonna have 115. Jesus.
I probably would not take. I wouldn't take Lamar on my team.
Why?
Because then I gotta build the entire offense around him to complement his play style, and then I gotta worry about the injuries because of his play style.
Quick question: isn't that basically what y'all are already with Marcus Mariota? You don't think they're similar to the Ravens right now?
You know what? He would elevate our offense.
Definitely.
He would elevate our offense to another level, but without him being, oh man, that's tough. That's tough. Honestly,
what about you? What about you, Jimmy?
He might fit our team better.
I think he makes y'all a playoff team, and y'all won't have to be fighting to get into the playoffs right now, messing around with these sorry Bucks.
Definitely, but I believe. All right, I'm gonna speak on the Falcon one first because Drake London and Kyle Pitts' potential won't be able to be maximized with a quarterback who has a minimal arm. So I believe the ceiling is higher elsewhere for the Falcons. It would change their fortune, obviously, an upgrade from Lamar to Mariota. Mariota to Lamar. It's a great upgrade in a trash division. Now, as far as the Patriots, no. I believe him coming there would be beautiful because we already don't have the weapons on the outside. We already have proven we're not going to use our resources or move assets to acquire talent on the outside. We're not good at that. So the formula for Lamar, the scheme for Lamar, I believe can be implemented with us because we hang our head on our defense anyway, on our O-line and things of that nature. We're cool with using fullbacks, 2 tight end systems. I think Lamar will look very well with even you could even argue a better durable dynamic duo when it comes to running backs. Damian Harris, he stays a little beat up, but Stevenson is solid.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know what? I would also take him in Atlanta. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I mean, not every quarterback is going to win a Super Bowl, but you go out and get these guys hoping to win a Super Bowl. Because I don't think Deshaun Watson is going to win a Super Bowl with the Browns. I can't see it.
I mean, honestly, if I was y'all, if you had a chance to get Lamar, I mean, Lamar is, what would you say, top 5-ish quarterback right now?
I'd say top 10.
I mean,
Like,
after Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow, who or Hurts, who
I'm taking Herbert over him. I'm sorry. I'm taking Rodgers over him. And you know how I feel about Rodgers.
I am taking Herbert definitely over him.
y'all talking about talent? We talking about actual production and leading teams to win. I can't choose Herbert.
The only thing I'm only reason why I'm so like scared about Lamar is just longevity, career longevity,
That's true.
and him putting his body in danger because of his play style. Other than that, he's a great athlete. He's a great talent. But it's just I'm nervous about some of these quarterbacks like Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson. Jalen Hurts is a bigger body, so I think he'll get better as far as the throwing aspect as long as you continue to supply him, complement him with talent around him. But who else? Justin Fields, right? This is the Lamar effect with Justin. He's young. He's only like 22 years old, 21 years old, so he's kind of breaking out. But is this going to last for another 4 years?
Shoot, even Josh Allen, like he be taking some hits.
Yeah, Josh Allen. He's a bigger body. But again, I hate that about the Bills. You got to find a way to get a run game and not Josh Allen be your sole rushing attack. So yeah, I like the mobile quarterback era that we're in, but they're taking way too many hits. We saw what happened with Cam Newton. We see what happened with Mike Vick. You know, these guys don't have that long of careers.
I agree with that, but I feel like for y'all particular teams, like let's face it, Falcons don't have nobody. The Patriot Mac, what do you think? Mariota is somebody?
No, the weapons on the outside.
No, I'm saying that quarterback.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no.
Mac Jones is. I don't know what to think about Mac Jones, and so that's why I'm saying, like, to actually compete in this league with these type of QBs out there, you need a guy that can at least on any given day at least give you at least a hope that you think that you can go up against the Mahomes or Burrow or Allen in the playoffs. And I feel like Lamar does that. Lamar on any given day, he could beat one of them.
I'm so sorry. In regular season, any given day, any given week, yes. But when we're talking about postseason cold weather and playoff football,
let me ask you this real quick. Real quick. No, but I see that. Do you not think Lamar would have made a difference on your team losing to the Bills like that last season?
Well, of course,
in the playoffs,
talent. He is a top end talent. Of course, he makes a difference.
And so you wouldn't want that?
Of course I won't. I just said I'd take him on New England. But he's not Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. He can't be the sole reason. Like, you have to have a scheme and a defense behind him for him to be able to compete with Joe Burrow, Patrick, Josh. He has to have a nice situation.
So you don't think he's going to play on the franchise tag next year?
No, I think he's going to get the franchise tag this next year. But then after that, I don't think he will be there. I think they'll probably franchise tag him and then use the transition tag to trade him, because their owner doesn't want to do a fully guaranteed deal. That's been noted. The owner doesn't want to do that. So what are you going to do with it? If that's what your star quarterback, your system wants, and if Huntley comes in and plays at least some type of decent, wouldn't you just roll with Huntley and build a team around Huntley?
Well, we haven't seen enough of Huntley. Yeah, we got to see more of him. See what he can do.
We would never ask this. The Chargers won't be asking us about Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert and the Chargers got their own issues.
But him being under contract for years to come is not a question. He will get it.
I agree. I agree with that. Did you have any other last two, Jimmy?
As far as my five?
Yeah, I thought you only named three. Or did you name all five?
I had Josh Jacobs, Tom Brady, Jimmie G, Geno Smith, and Jordan Poyer. Brady, Jimmie G swapping. It's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Where'd you have Geno going?
Yeah, that's the way. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Staying put with the Seahawks. But and see, that's the thing. I believe it will be viewed like how we view rookie quarterbacks. What Geno's year was this year is going to be his rookie year, and that sophomore slump will follow. I believe Pete Carroll and the Seahawks. We believe Geno can be the future, but I don't think so. He's more of a bridge quarterback in my mind, and we will see him get a 2-year deal, re-upping with the Seahawks, and then him slide. This will be Geno's best year of his career.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Well, let's get into the next segment.
Yes, we will. And if you were a fan today, we're going to let you know what team you shouldn't be too happy about. You should be biting your nails and not placing your bet on these teams because you don't want to, put your money, put your assets on the line. This is going to be a stressful postseason for these fans of these teams. Let's run it down. What's the cuz?
Yeah, I got the Miami Dolphins, man. I think it's all on Tua, and it's really all on Tua because the defense can't complement that passing attack. The rushing attack, I mean, it picked up a little bit because you got a 1-2 punch with Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert, but it's really running back by committee, whoever's hot at the moment. But I mean, if Waddle isn't there, I'm double teaming. I'm taking out. I'm finding the best way to take out Tyreek Hill. I'm not sold on 100% on them rushing 20 plus times a game, and I'm shutting down that offense.
Right.
So without the defense to complement, they're not taking the football away like they were doing the last 3 years, 2 to 3 years before this year. So if I'm a fan base, I'm nervous if I'm a Dolphins fan when the playoff time comes, especially with no Waddle and Tua has to elevate his game, and we haven't seen him in the playoffs yet.
What is Waddle's injury? I know he has a leg injury, but what is it?
It could. They didn't disclose what part of the leg, but I know he was battling a hamstring issue early in the season. So, hammies can be a hit or a miss.
Yeah. Definitely. What's good, Don?
It's a lot of teams that I just saw this weekend that I could go with. I mean, I'm watching. I'm gonna take the Bucks off because they're not making the playoffs.
So wait, all right. Before we get into that, if the Bucks don't make the playoffs, who comes out of the NFC South?
All right.
All right. Let me get back to y'all on that one. But after Jimmie talks, I'm gonna have a list of what each one of those teams have left. I mean, and I'll give you my expert opinion on who I think comes out of the NFC South. Expert opinion.
I mean, if the Saints win tonight, they're 5-8,
and they're about to score again, go up 17-3. So, I mean, but I'll take the Bucks off right now, and I'll replace them, and I'll just come up with something off top of my head. I had the Bucks and the Ravens, but I'm gonna change it and say the Titans and the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens don't finish games. It's really Lamar or nothing. I don't know if y'all watched that game this past weekend against the Broncos. It was so painful to watch. It was like, come on, Russ. Like, you can't score at least one more point to put away the Ravens. I mean, and all I could keep on thinking about was Jimmie and Darius said the Broncos are going to be good next year. How are they going to be good? Man, hey.
I said, give them another year to gel, man. They do have young talent on the offensive end. Like,
that's
their
not
weapons,
the problem.
Their
that's
weapons
not the problem.
Isn't old.
That's the problem.
I don't agree. As you get older, your situation has to be more and more beautiful to help you age beautifully. Like Russ, his situation isn't nice. See, you can argue the Seahawks situation. He went from a okay situation to a worse situation. You could argue that Seahawks are looking better going forward.
Now that they got rid of him,
With the assets you got for getting rid of him, helped you have a better situation.
I agree with that.
If they didn't have a defense, then they'll be in trouble. But because they at least have a start, they have a top 10 defense. I mean, the offense we can fix. We have a veteran quarterback. We have some young running backs. Hopefully, Javonte Williams can come back. I'm not going to be surprised if they trade Judy and try to pick up either draft capital and then spend some. They're not over. They got $17 million in cap space, so they can get a couple guys.
You say that they have pieces after. How is this offense going to get any better when Russ is washed? You can't get past the quarterback being washed and old. What he's owed like $200 and something million. Like he's going to be there. Like it's no getting around it. Yeah, you could say, "Oh, we're going to change the coach." That ain't changing nothing. Russ still going to be there. He is washed. He's not making the plays that he was making with Seattle. Their offense is the worst in the league. They're averaging only 14 points per game. That is ridiculous.
This is only 1 year. This is only 1 year in the system.
What is going to change from next year to this year?
I just told you. I said
the running back comes back. The line hopefully is an upgrade. The defense
Hopefully.
is still intact. Hopefully you get a coaching upgrade.
No,
okay.
I mean, the coach only been there. This is his first year.
No, I mean,
You got a
But
first,
the coach is trash. The coach is trash.
You got a first year coach. You got Russ coming in, a seasoned vet. We're talking about a Super Bowl winning seasoned vet. So who's probably set in some of his ways, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to get him to buy in. You got to get the team to buy into Russ. We got to give them 1 more year. Then it's like, oh, whoa. Like Russ didn't come into a system where the Bucs had. The Bucs organization was bad, but Tom Brady came into Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Like, come on. It can't get any better than that. And then they brought in Leonard Fournette.
Hey, the
Matthew
Bucs,
Stafford came into another better situation.
not the Bucs. They were saying that the Broncos was 1 QB away, and all I could hear is, "Oh, they got a future Hall of Famer now." When how does that play out? I don't think he's a future Hall of Famer anymore. He's played his way. He's played his way out of the future Hall of Fame.
You can't play your way out of being a future Hall of Famer.
Yes, you can. Because it wasn't solidified. It wasn't solidified that he was a Hall of Famer before that. It wasn't. He only had 1 Super Bowl win. He was he's a product of Pete Carroll and that system. Bruh is not like that. He is not one of them top quarterbacks that you need to be up out here running your whole offense through.
At one point, it was always like, let Russ cook. So
yeah, and now look what you did.
You put the ball in Russ' hands, he could make the plays because he had 2 weapons on the outside, and all Pete Carroll wanted to do was run the football. So
without
I mean,
a line.
yeah, and they never had an O line for
and he
Russ
still
Wilson.
don't. He still don't have a line. But yo, we talking about do we talk about Geno being a top tier quarterback? He's played like his numbers are top tier this year, right? But we don't based off of 1 year, we don't say he's a top tier quarterback. We can't say he's washed based off of 1 year. He has a sample size of consistency. Geno has a sample size of consistency, negative consistency that we can't allow to be ignored this year just because of 1 good year. We can't ignore Russ because of 1 trash year. He's not washed just yet.
Is Matt Ryan washed?
Oh yeah, 100%.
What is the difference?
It's easier for us to deem him washed because first off, it's a one-way street. Russ can beat you with your legs. He can improvise. Matt's not doing that.
He not running no more. He doesn't run like that anymore.
I don't know. Come on,
right,
Matt.
come on now. We're seeing.
He can still evade the pressure a lot better than Rodgers could at this point in his career. And definitely, Matt Ryan was never evading anything. Who else we got? Yeah, I mean, those are pretty. And Tom Brady, but they're old.
And all of them washed.
Oh man. But yeah,
For,
let's give the Broncos the benefit of the doubt, man.
I'm not giving them nothing because if y'all are saying next year that Brady goes to the Raiders, the Broncos are not making the playoffs again.
I said it from the beginning of the year. I said give the Broncos 1 year. Everyone was like, "Oh, the Broncos." I had this guy bet me $100 that the Broncos were going to the Super Bowl, and I said, "No, they're not. No, they're not."
Tell Buddy he might as well pay you now.
right. So, Don, you speaking on the Ravens, man.
Oh yeah, but the Ravens, we've seen it time and time again in the playoffs. They don't show they don't come up in big. They don't come up big, and I'm not sold on them. I don't think Lamar is gonna. I think he could possibly get you one, but I'm not putting my money on that he's going to get you past. Hell, I don't even know if they can beat the Dolphins again, or what would happen if they met the Titans. So I'm not sold on them, especially with Lamar going out this past weekend. And like I said, they blow leads. This team is so hit and miss, and they're so backwards. Why would you go trade for Roquan Smith? Granted, you needed to upgrade a linebacker, but why won't you go get Lamar a weapon? Like
Yeah, it still doesn't make any sense.
like what old boy name is in the Texans? The speedster. Shoot, his
Brandon
name.
Cooks?
Yeah, he was available. Like heck, even Chase Claypool was available for a second. Why wouldn't you try to go get at least somebody to try to help Lamar? I'm just not. Them and the Titans, I look at them the exact same way. They're running teams that I don't think that can put up enough points, and they've been proven that they can be had in the playoffs. So those are the two teams I got. I mean, they're just trash, both of them.
You got something? You got something on that, Jimmy?
Yeah, I just want to shit on these Ravens for a little bit because these Ravens before the season this was Lamar's,
I can always count on you to agree with me on the Ravens.
yeah. It's just inconsistency from top to bottom, and it reminds me of the segment talking about setup for failure. This is a franchise that is set up for failure for a lot of different reasons. Jim Harbaugh, John, my fault. You're starting to slip a little bit here, okay? And the level of consistency we see with Mike Tomlin doesn't exist, it seems, with John anymore. We're talking about the Ravens way, talking about smash mouth football, a great defense, and that's a part of why they traded for Roquan Smith, because the Ravens way isn't Lamar. The Ravens way has been something more than Lamar. Say that again.
Defense.
It's that defense, and hanging your hat on the defense is the formula for the Ravens for a lot of different reasons, because it's the Raven way for one, but also your quarterback. In the postseason, a lot of times his flaws are highlighted more or brought out more because of schemes and the way teams defend the Ravens. It's more consistent, pushing you towards throwing the ball, making Lamar beat you in one way as opposed to two. And playing man to man against the Ravens is a formula that they have no counter for. They don't have a route technician on the outside. You have a Mark Andrews who beats you in a different way than Travis Kelce does. It's more similar to George Kittle. It's a physical brand of football that doesn't allow Lamar's weaknesses to be sort of helped in a sense. And I agree, they do need to get him a weapon on the outside, but his abilities with or without that weapon, I believe, will be highlighted. And as far as the Ravens O-line, like that's something I believe you can hang your hat on, but not when you're running the ball. You know how I feel about running the ball. They always will be in it because they can run the ball, and it's running by committee, not just their quarterback, but their running backs as well. It's similar to the Titans, I believe. The Titans and the Ravens are in the same boat. It's just who can stay more durable, Derek or Lamar. I believe it'll be Derek.
So you said this team is set up for failure?
Yes.
I can't see how this team is set. They're not set up for failure. I mean, they have definitely some offensive flaws because they're one dimensional. They're just a run first offense.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, none of their offensive weapons, as far as the running backs, you're a run first offense when and your running backs can't stay healthy. Gus Edwards in and out of the lineup. J.K. Dobbins in and out of the lineup. Kenyon Drake, he's their third string back that has a good game. Then where is he?
Right.
We all know what Mike Davis did in Atlanta. He's just a backup running back. Your focal run point is Lamar Jackson. I agree with. Hey, why didn't we go out and get Lamar a weapon? That is a flaw. But as far as them being set up for failure, I mean, they got Tyler Linderbaum in the first round last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great pick. That solidifies your center position for at least another 5 to 7 years. I still think Kyle Hamilton will be the best player out of this draft. I think overall he's going to be a solid player. He's going to have a great career. Mm-hmm. You got the defense is set up to be good, right? I mean, you got Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith, mm-hmm. Marlon Humphreys, Marcus Peters, who's fell off just a little bit. I mean, Marcus Williams, who went out and paid a lot of money for, he's hurt. Michael Pierce, your starting D-tackle, was hurt, so you got Travis Hunter in there, the rookie. Calais Campbell, he's getting up there in age, okay. But, I mean, come on now. The defense is actually solid, but it goes back to that. Why didn't we go out and get Lamar a weapon at receiver? Why did you trade Marquise Brown away? And I honestly think this team will get better moving forward. It's just the money situation is what they're going to have to get right. Because you got to pay Roquan, and if in Don's case, if they let Lamar go, I mean, now you got a void to fill at quarterback, which is the biggest position to fill, and you don't have the weapons to complement not having a quarterback.
And that last point is why I believe they're set up for failure in the AFC with a lot of young quarterbacks who you have to, even with Lamar staying or going, I believe they're set up for failure because the way about going and beating these top dogs won't work with Lamar because so much has to go right and so much is going wrong. I believe they're starting to age on that defensive side. Roquan Smith helps them tremendously. And you highlighted the safety. Humphreys is still in his prime. Peters will probably be gone, like you alluded to earlier. And they do worry about the trenches. But going all in on Lamar is a big question that they still don't know. Like, this ain't a Justin Herbert situation where you have your future here. And you don't know how you talked about duration of time, how long the Ravens will be relevant. We don't know how long this will be effective because we've never seen it before. We've never seen this brand of football win consistently. And when you hang your hat on a brand of football that hasn't been proven, I believe the next couple of years seem sort of gloomy for you. That's all.
Yeah, and they're not a big splash team either. They're not going to go out there and trade for the big big names. They're pretty straightforward. They build around the draft and try to develop guys.
Yeah.
Besides going to get Roquan, he's going to actually elevate your team like that. That just
he's a guy.
He's good. He's good. Don't get me wrong, but is Roquan really going to make a difference when you face Mahomes or Burrow or Allen? I don't see it. You need somebody on the other side that can help you score points to keep up with them, because I don't think the Ravens don't have consistent pressure on their D line. One, Marcus Peters can be had. I see Jacksonville straight up torched him like the other week. So that's why I'm just like, I'm not too sure on them. But
you know what? In y'all division, they need Roquan because you got to face Nick Chubb twice a year. You got to face Najee twice a year. And I mean, we still got Joe Mixon. Even though the Bengals is a pass first offense, mm-hmm. Joe Mixon is a good running back. So I mean, you have running backs in that division that you do have to stop.
Well, quick before we.
I'm not really worried about Najee, but whatever.
Before we go to our last topic, I need Jimmie, because I know he gonna be non-biased when I ask him this stuff here. I'm gonna name the teams in the NFC South, and I'm gonna tell you their record. and the teams that they have to go against. You give me your expert opinion on who you think. I said bias, and I forgot that he a Bucks fan also. So okay, so we got the Saints. As of right now, they are up 13-3 with 13 minutes to go, and they're driving down the field again, up on the Bucks. So I don't know if we want to go ahead and count this as a win, but we'll just leave it off for right now. They have the okay. So if we count it as a win, they're 5-8. So they have the Falcons, Browns, Eagles, Panthers. How many of those games you think they could win? Falcons, Browns.
Eagles.
No, the Saints. Saints have them. Falcons, Browns, Eagles, Panthers.
Falcons.
Well, let me do this. Can they be? Are they beating the Falcons next week?
This is the second time they're playing them, correct?
And if we lost to them by 1 in the first week.
Right. I believe the Falcons can win that game because we're talking about the second time around. So the Browns, Saints. No, I'll take the Browns.
Eagles.
Taking the Eagles.
Panthers.
Taking the Saints.
So you got them at 6 and what would it be? 6-11? 6-11.
Yeah.
Okay. Bucks. So if they lose tonight, they'll be 5-7 with the 49ers. Winning or losing?
Win. Rookie quarterback. Especially if it's off a loss. But good.
Bengals.
I'm gonna take a L. I'm gonna take an L for that one.
Cardinals.
Win.
Panthers.
Win.
Falcons.
Win.
So that's 4 wins on top of the 5. That's 9 and 8. I believe I did that right. Yeah. Panthers. They have Seahawks.
Okay. It's an L.
Steelers.
That's an L.
Lions.
Ooh. I'm talking about the Lions. I'm taking Lions. Yeah.
Bucks.
Bucks. Taking Bucks.
Saints.
Taking the Saints.
So you got
them winning 0-5 for the they're gonna win. I won't be surprised if they beat the Seahawks. Right? I won't be surprised.
Yeah, the Panthers. So you said they ain't winning none of these games.
I can see them losing every game. The Seahawks and Lions is the two toss-ups for me, but every other game I see them losing. Second time around. Wait. How many times did Panthers and Saints play? Only once, right?
Yeah, they've only played once, but I don't know who won that game.
I believe it was
the Panthers won.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm definitely taking the Saints then. Definitely.
So I don't even have to figure out what their record be. Just you don't got them winning. Okay, the Falcons. They got the Saints.
Okay.
Who you got?
And so the Falcons won the first time.
No, the Saints won the first time. You already gave the Falcons the win.
So I'm taking the split, right?
Okay.
If it's a division, I'm most likely going to split. So Falcons.
Ravens. And Lamar might not be there. He might be though.
I'll take the Falcons.
Wow, we're going to Baltimore.
I
was thinking about going to that game, but I was like, I don't know.
Cardinals.
I might have to.
I think the Cardinals could score more points than the Falcons. I think it'll be difficult. I think the Cardinals got it.
And then your beloved Bucks.
Oh, the Bucks. TB.
So you got.
I said we was gonna steal one from the Bucks this year. So
okay, so let me ask you. Yeah, I was going to say.
If you ask me, I say we lose to the Ravens. We beat the Saints. We beat the Bucks. We beat the Cardinals.
Honestly, it's not too far fetched, but y'all so iffy that honestly, when I did it also. My best case scenario of what I could honestly see happening, I got y'all going 3-1 in these last 4 games, honestly. But at the same time, you got to play 2 divisional opponents. The Ravens might have Lamar, and the Cardinals on any given day they could put up some points.
Yep.
So honestly, if I had to pick somebody, y'all might laugh, but I might pick the Panthers, to be honest with you, bruh. Like,
Yeah, Jimmy having them go 0-5 is kind of crazy because
like,
What do they
their
have that's so
defense,
sexy?
their
no,
defense
it's
isn't
not,
bad.
it's not that
Defense is great.
it's not that they have so much like players that sexy or not, but it's more so that they have like the schedule. They only have to go against the Seahawks. Seahawks can be had. Steelers can be had. Lions, and then they got the Bucks and Saints. But like the Bucks still have the 49ers, Bengals, and Cardinals. Say what you want about the Cardinals, but that could be a hard game. Saints still have the Browns and Eagles, Falcons, and the Falcons still got the Ravens, Cardinals, Saints, and Bucks. Like you never know. And didn't the Bucks beat y'all the first time this year, Darius?
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at the schedule, and I don't know, man. Like I'm not too confident in it, but if I had to choose somebody, yeah.
Wow. I mean, the Panthers have the
Yeah.
easier road. I mean, I agree with that.
The only bad thing about the Panthers, if they lose one more game, it's over.
Oh, did not know that. Well, hold on now, because
It's really two. I mean,
the Saints got 8 losses. The Bucks are about to lose tonight, so that'd be 7. And the Panthers already have 8 losses also. So everybody's around the same spot because the Falcons got y'all got 8 losses also right now?
it's about the tiebreakers though too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the Panthers 3-1 in the division.
The Panthers are?
Panthers 3-1 in the division. They beat us. They beat.
The
That's why I
Bucks.
said they beat the Saints, and they beat the Bucks. They
Jeez.
ran all over the Bucks.
So if that's the case, we might need to revisit. Like, yeah, they can definitely beat the Bucks and Saints again, and the Lions. I probably would pick the Lions, and the Seahawks and Steelers. You never know.
Yeah, those are toss-ups.
Yeah, so we're gonna definitely have to keep an eye on this NFC South because that is a horrible division at this time, and one of those teams are gonna make the playoffs. Unfortunately, hopefully the NFL changes that rule soon, right?
Yeah, hey, please, so we ain't got to see none of them. Neither the Bucks, Falcons, none of them.
All right, so let's get into these pick'ems.
Pick
Don's. Wait, Jimmy, did you go over your team? You said the Ravens, right?
Oh yeah.
So Ravens. I got the Dolphins, and I believe Don said the Bucks and the Ravens.
Titans.
Titans and the
Yeah.
Ravens. Titans and the Ravens. Those are two. Those are teams that fan bases should be scared about for this year's playoffs. And now we are going to get into the last segment. What we got, Jimmy?
But real quick, should I go ahead and count this as a loss for all of us because the Bucks look like they about to lose?
I mean, we can confirm that when it hits 0.
Yeah. And that'll end your undefeated streak right there.
Look at the hate.
Man, we are into the pick'ems, man. We were talking about last week's pick'ems, and then we'll look forward to this upcoming week pick'ems. Let's run it down, fellas. Let's go.
Don, you got the
Yep.
picks line up?
Alrighty. We're gonna start with Raiders and Rams.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
I am too.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders. Also, I feel like they're a far better team than the Rams, and the Rams Stafford is on IR, so I'm not really worried about them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Raiders are hot.
Next game, I have the Vikings and Lions. A sneaky, good game. The Lions just put up 40 points this past weekend. We know what the Vikings are. Who y'all got?
Go ahead.
I got the Vikings. I'm gonna take the Vikings. They'll prove something.
Yeah, even though the Lions.
Well, hold
Lions
on.
are hot.
Do you know this is in Detroit? Does that matter to you?
No, just because it's either way, it's a dome. and I believe it's going to be a high-scoring game, and the Vikings can run the ball to me a little bit more effectively later in the game. That's just Dalvin Cook. I'm going to take that top-end talent.
Who you got there?
Even though the Lions have been playing very well lately, I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Oh. Well, I guess this is our first split because I'm going with the Lions. I really feel like they've been showing some stuff lately. I ain't gonna lie to you, and I just like going against y'all because that's how we create separation from each other.
It's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying?
That gives me a point right there to get back in the lead.
Well, you've been thinking that these last couple of weeks, and it hasn't been going well for you. Next game, Ravens and Steelers. Well, the Ravens might not have Lamar. How you feeling? Well, not no might. He's out. My bad.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers.
I agree. Steelers are hot.
I was definitely not expecting y'all to say that because I'm going with
I saw that video. I saw that video of that fan that tried to say hi to Mike Tomlin. He was like, "I'm fucking working." I was like, "Dang, bro."
I'm
he on the mission.
I'm definitely going with y'all on them. I feel like the Steelers been they've been improving these last couple of weeks ever since they played us. Kenny Pickett, he looking decent. I ain't gonna lie. Next game, Browns and Bengals. Let's see the hate.
Taking the Bengals ain't no hate over here. I just appreciate greatness.
As much as I do want to hate and take the Browns, I got to go with the Bengals as well.
See, this is going to be the problem. I don't like when all of us agree on the same team because let me go back to our last week because it seemed like whenever all of us choose the same winner, it doesn't. Well, no, all of us agreed on the Cowboys, Seahawks, Ravens, Commanders. So okay, we good. And the Packers, we good. We good. I ain't even got to say. Y'all already know who I'm going for. Like Joe Shiesty. Yeah, we got Joe Shiesty. You know what I'm saying? This game right here. I'm interested to see who y'all got. Jets at Bills.
I got the Bills.
The Jets won the first game. I'm definitely going with the Bills. I think they're on a mission.
I am going with as much as I want the Jets to beat the Bills so the Bengals can have a chance to get that number one seed in the AFC. I need to see Mike White against an actual legit defense. So I say this, it's a win-win. If he does beat the Bills, they're helping me out some. I don't really feel like I need to ask y'all this because I know all of us are going to say the same team. Texans at Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Same. The Texans are horrible. They're trying to get the number one pick, and they're just giving games away. Eagles at Giants.
Eagles.
I think the Giants won. No, the Eagles won the first matchup, right? Oh, no.
I don't think they played yet.
Yeah, they didn't play yet. Where are they playing at?
In New York. And it's not like the Giants have a sorry defense. They do have a good defense. And it's a divisional game.
And the Eagles only lost one game so far?
Is it one or two?
Only one, Commanders.
Oh, well, yeah.
You know what?
Go ahead, do it.
I'm going to go with the Giants. The only thing about the Giants, they've been on this weird, like, losing few games, tying games. But I'm going to go with the Giants.
I'm going with the Eagles. I don't think the Giants can put up as much points as the Eagles. And I feel like the Eagles probably going to be able to shut down that running game of them. And I don't believe in Daniel Jones, to be honest with you.
I'm nervous about that pick, but I'm going to stick with my pick.
Jags at Titans.
Titans.
Yo. Oh, wait. Is Trevor Lawrence playing this week?
He got hurt?
He got
All right. Yeah, he got hurt. If Trevor Lawrence plays this week, I'm gonna go with the Jags.
So if he doesn't play, then who you going for? Titans.
If he doesn't play, I'm going with the Titans. So right now, we're gonna scratch me in for the Jags. I'll let you know later in the week if I change my pick. There we go. This is how you take the lead right here, Jimmy.
It's not because I'm going with the Titans. Like, I don't think the Jags are going to be able to stop Derrick Henry. I think he gets back on track and he goes over 100 for them. Chiefs at Broncos.
Chiefs.
I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Easily.
Yeah, after losing to the Bengals, I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Easily, yeah.
You can say that again. Panthers at Seahawks.
I'm gonna go Panthers.
Ooh.
I got Seattle. You know, Panthers, they ain't want to win another game in my book.
Jimmy had them going 0-5.
Oof.
Honestly, I said best case they could win four games out of that stretch, but this is in Seattle.
12 man.
I'm going with Seattle, man. I can't bring myself to pick them right now. They might be able to beat the NFC South, but I can't see them beating Seattle in Seattle. Bucks at 49ers. Let's hear it, Jimmy.
Bucks. Chest.
Wow.
The rookie QB.
Hey.
Awful loss.
Well, I don't know if this is going to change it for you. Probably not, because you're a Bucks guy. I believe David. I think his name Levante David or something. Mm-hmm. He got injured. I'm not sure if he's back in yet. I don't know what his status is going to be for next week, but I'm sure that doesn't matter to you.
Not against a rookie quarterback and coming off a loss.
I'm gonna go to 49ers.
I got 49ers. I got 49ers. Like man, the Saints defense is getting after Brady right now. I can only imagine what the 49ers going. It's going to be them abusing the elderly. Man,
elderly goat.
I'm interested in this one and see what y'all say. Dolphins at Chargers. Yeah. Sunday night. In LA.
I'm taking Chargers. Justin Herbert's going to be like, this is why I should have drafted me. Me with Tyreek, me with Jalen.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to go with the Chargers as well. Put a little fear in these Dolphins. And for some reason, the Chargers win games that they're not supposed to and lose games that they are supposed to win.
True.
Well, to no surprise, I'm going against y'all. You know, I'm not the biggest Tua guy. I'm not the biggest Dolphins guy, but that Chargers secondary can be had. I mean, they got Tyreek Hill, they got all them other speedsters, and I don't know if Waddle's playing, but I don't think it might even matter if he plays or not, because the Chargers defense, besides Khalil Mack, they ain't hitting on nothing. Patriots versus Cardinals. Let's hear that homer pick.
Pat it up with the Patriots on your chest.
You know what? I'm going to go to Patriots as well.
Oh, wow. Y'all just making it easy, because I was going to decide off of y'all because this game is a 50-50 for me. But I'm going with the Cardinals. Hey, I feel like Kyler might be a little bit too much for Belichick to handle on Monday night.
You do got the legs. You know how Belichick goes against guys with legs.
And that's it for the picks as of right now. We're all about to take an L. So right now, Jimmy is 16-14. I'm 25-5. Darius, you're 19-11.
Yeah, I had a rough week last week.
Go have another one.
We got 4 more weeks.
Mm-hmm.
4 more weeks. 4 more weeks. So we're on 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 5 more weeks. So we got 5 more weeks to pickems. The 2 losers has to wear the other team's jersey, or no, the other team's apparel for an episode. It's gonna be nice when I see the Drake London and Kyle Pitts on y'all, man. It's gonna be amazing, man. Might have a custom Josh Jacobs t-shirt for y'all, man.
I might just wait till we win the Super Bowl so y'all can just wear Super Bowl apparel. You know what I'm saying?
Waiting.
Nah.
And on that note, amen. This was a great episode, fellas. Great episode.
Beautiful.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in.
We definitely do. Thank you.
And what we got, Don? Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, man. Just like, subscribe, comment, some fan interaction. Just show some support and just show some love.
For sure. We're gonna keep giving y'all this content. And until next time, peace.
We out.